We got a brand new update for Far Cry 6. Maybe you already installed it. No, it's not the 90 gigs that Ubisoft said it would be on PS5. You also see the other file sizes right here. Now instead I had to download a little over 18 gigs, which is still quite a lot. But I would not be surprised if we're already like downloading a small bit of the Vaas DLC. Like that is of course planned for November, and we got a small bit of info on that. We also know when the next Spec Ops map is going to drop. Secret changes are included in the update and way more. So of course, if you like the Far Cry content here on the channel, then leave a like on the video. Would really help me out, and let's go. You can enter my current Far Cry 6 giveaway for 2,300 Far Cry credits via the link in the pinned comment, and be sure you are a subscriber of the channel before you enter, and good luck. The patch notes start by saying that new daily and weekly challenges have been added. I already reached out to Ubisoft because they're not in the game yet. Like, I don't think they are the Ubisoft Connect challenges, but they sound kind of like Red Hat challenges from Valhalla, so when I know more, I will of course let you know here. Next week on November 9th, we're getting another brand new special operation map called Los Tres Santos. So that will be the 4th map in Lola's menu. We can see it in the post-launch roadmap as well with the Zeppelins, and overall it kind of looks like a castle or fort. And maybe you already noticed this, but when you boot up a Spec Ops on the lowest difficulty, you also get a cutscene showcasing some of the future maps. And here we also see an extra look at this Zeppelin type level, which looks completely different than the ones we already have. So I can't wait to try it out, and it might be worth it to finally test our skills at the Mastery 3 difficulty. Of course, when these maps unlock, you first have the first difficulty, and then by completing the highest difficulty you have available, you unlock the next one. And now there are new trophies for completing each Spec Ops map on the highest Mastery 3 difficulty. But yeah, if you already completed one of these Mastery 3 Spec Ops maps, then you likely have to do it again to unlock the achievement or trophy. So that kinda sucks. We also see the trophy already for the Los Tres Santos map and for the 5th one, which I'm even more curious about. And the translation of this is of course Eden's Gate, which was the cult in Far Cry 5. I'm still holding my fingers crossed that the enemies, the Peggies, are going to be in the Spec Ops map. Don't think it's going to happen, but that would be really cool. And if we see a new map now every 3 weeks, then we will find out soon enough. I will touch on the new Vaas DLC trophies that also appeared in a moment, but first let's go over the things that were added and changed now with the update we just installed. One thing you will notice when booting up the game, at least that was the case for me, is that you get a pop-up about how a special operation is now available, where we have to team up with Danny Trejo to steal the PG-240X and help the student rebellion. Maybe you already guessed it, this is not currently available yet, although if you go to Lola, she does mention it.
Oh yeah, Danny, Trejo's been raving about you. Said you're a real hero for helping him. Must be nice to have a Hollywood legend singing your praises. Hope you got an autograph. You ready to team up with Trejo again? Of course you are. Let's go hit Malagua and steal ourselves one dangerous fucking weapon. Grab some gear and I'll drive you there in my cab.
So, just like that crossover mission I talked about in my previous video, which I will link to at the end of this one, this content already snuck into the game while it is planned for later. So yes, cool to know that after helping with the tacos, we actually do a Spec Ops mission with Danny Trejo, which he actually also mentioned at the end of the mission that we gotta play, which again was a work in progress. And we actually also see him on the post-launch roadmap for the final Spec Ops map. Ubisoft, by the way, now removed that work in progress crossover Danny Trejo mission we were able to play for just 1 day. Again, it will be back in December, but if you like me were on time and did complete it, then you will still see it in your journal under completed, and there you will see that they changed the 5,000 pesos reward we first saw for a question mark now, which says if we complete the operation we receive a special reward. So fingers crossed it's that vehicle with the minigun from the mission, or I would also be down for a taco gun, or just another cool weapon in general. For now, we have to wait and see. One thing Ubisoft also notes, but this time in the patch notes, is that they adjusted the respawn rate of enemies in the following areas: Jose's Island and the Villies airstrip. we of course went to Jose's Island pretty early on in the game. If you of course chose to do the missions for the Monteros and met Chorizo early on, like, there are quite a lot of enemies, and I'm not sure if they really changed it as I haven't been there after that mission, but it's still crazy. Like, if you kill enemies near the shore and then make your way to the villa, clear the enemies in front of it here, then return to the shore, the enemies you just killed are back, like new reinforcements have respawned. Then if you go back to the villa, there are new enemies there too, so you're in this constant combat encounter. It's still the case, maybe even more than it was before, but totally correct me if I'm wrong, so not sure what they changed. Same, by the way, for Philly's airstrip. One thing you will immediately notice is that we can now skip the title sequence every time you boot up the game, which was getting annoying. So now, after like skipping it once, if you boot up the game again, you are immediately going to the start screen. So you won't have that title sequence again. The note that the workbench background has been updated to make it less distracting. So what they did is turn up the blur a bit in the new background, which you very clearly see when you compare the workbench before and after the update. The weapon you see here is, by the way, the Spaz, which you can get at Lola's shop for 1 week right now. Did a big video on it, which I will link to at the end of this one. You totally want to check that out. Overall though, workbench menu, yeah, less distracting, I guess. We also got some secret changes they did not note in the patch notes. And of course, if you noticed anything after installing the update, totally drop it down in the comments down below. So we actually saw many people on Reddit report on this, that the legs from the King and Country bundle is gone after this update. Like here I have the full parkour set on, then I want to equip this Rule Britannia set. I equip all the pieces, except the pants is gone. And when going to the store, it says that I already have it. So they took it from the game, hopefully they bring it back. And speaking of stores or vendors, if you, like me, bought everything with pesos, they will now actually see a message saying nothing available to purchase, instead of just this like blank screen, which is a nice change. I also checked the food buffs at the home base Cantina vendor, and first you would see multiple buffs active and they would all work as well at the same time. But now after purchasing one, I only see that one active, and you will only notice one of those effects. Like here I got extra gadget reserve, 7 for my healing syringe, then I've activated the extra ammo. Now I do have the extra ammo, but the syringe went from 7 to 4. So you really, for now, have to pick and choose when, for example, doing these special operations. And speaking of spec ups, we did try the Mastery rank 3, by the way, and got the trophy. So yeah, that's all working. It was totally manageable, and what they added is icons for these gadget and ammo refill spots, so you can very easily see them on the minimap. And then you will actually notice that there are quite a lot in these Spec Ops maps, so overall a really great change. And in the menu we found a new option in the HUD sections and elements, where you can turn off the power bar with a brand new screenshot of that upcoming Vaas DLC. And I think this power bar shows you which powers you have active during this run. As you might know, we're looking at roguelike DLC, where we will have to do multiple runs. And I think try to escape Vaas mines, because that is what the first trophy is suggesting. So maybe do like one successful run. Do that with a score of at least 20,000 for another trophy, and we also have levels where we have to complete level 5 of Vaas Mines, so that's likely a higher difficulty. In the post-launch trailer we saw that you unlock powers and guns with cash, and if you carry at least 8,000 with you, you get another trophy. And we also have a trophy for discovering every location in the DLC, unlocking all the weapons, diary pages, so likely collectibles, and chibis, okay? And also all the visions, which I think are the story moments we also briefly teased. Fully upgrading all weapon caches also gives you a trophy. I'm just curious how this will shake out. My expectations are kind of low because it's a roguelike DLC. I don't know, but I think we'll find out soon enough. Usually trophies mean that the release is close, and I overall hope that we get some new weapons that we can use in Yara too. When we know more about the Vaas DLC and other Far Cry content, I will of course let you know here. So totally subscribe to miss nothing regarding Far Cry 6. A like on the video would of course really help me out. And totally, if you haven't already, check out that video on the weekly reset with amazing new weapons you want to get before the week is over. So you can watch it by clicking on the screen. For now, I'll speak to you in the next one. Goodbye.